Hey there everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com, and here it is. We finally have it in our fat little fingers. It is the HTC Amaze 4G on T-Mobile, and we're going to see if it lives up to its name, aren't we? So let's talk about what we got here. You got a 4.3-inch display. It's Super LCD at QHD resolution, so it's good to finally see HTC getting the higher res screens onto its higher end phones. We've seen far too many 480 by 800s. Not that that's bad, but you know, let's face it, we're about to start seeing 720p phones, right? Immediately you see this lock screen that we love. If you haven't seen this before, you got a couple options. One is to just pull this ring and unlock the phone entirely. The other is you have these shortcuts here, so if you want to go immediately to the phone, you drag the phone in there and it takes you straight to the phone. Very nice, love it, madly in love with that. So since 3.5, right, we've seen this on other phones, the Evo 3D, the Sensation. It is fast as it ever was, thanks to it's got a 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon dual core processor. So if you haven't used one of those before, it's about as fast as anything you'll see. So that's Sense. Take a look at the rest of the hardware on the phone. You've got your micro USB port over here. On this side, we've got a whole slew of buttons. So you've got your usual volume rocker here on the right. And you've got actually not one, but two camera buttons. So when you're in the camera app, push this one to take a still picture and push this one to actually start video recording. So you don't have to go tapping on the screen to start video recording or anything. Really, really nice idea. Up top, you got a power button, 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the back, this is kind of really the business end of the Amaze 4G. So it's got an 8-megapixel camera with dual flash, and HTC is just really, really pimping the capabilities of this camera, and we're going to test it out here in a little while and see. We're in beautiful sunny San Diego, so we've got great scenery for this. So it's an 8-megapixel camera. You've got a front-facing camera that I still never use for anything. Something else you're really going to love about the design of this phone. So the battery is all one piece, and there's a little tiny button you push down on the bottom for the battery cover. And when you take it off, I mean, HTC has always done a really nice job of showing you what's going on and showing you the hardware. But look at all the antennas that are tucked into the battery cover too. Very, very cool. So we've got a micro SD card slot here, a SIM card, and remember this is T-Mobile's 4G phone, so it's going to be able to get the 42 megabits per second data down, and we're going to have to do some serious testing with that, and should be nice and fast. Here is the battery. Pops in thusly, nice and simple. And getting the battery cover back on is a little interesting. You just kind of slide the phone back in and push down, and then we can fire it back up. Only thing design-wise I'm really not feeling at this point, I mean the size, it's a little hefty, right? It's not a small phone. Here it is next to the HTC Thunderbolt, and you can see it's a tiny bit taller, not quite as thick as the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's got a millimeter or two on it. It doesn't feel as big as the Thunderbolt, definitely feels better in the hand. It's a little more sleek, a little more sexy. Look how fast that's booting up. But the one thing that's really bothering me is you got this little lip between the battery cover case and then the screen itself. Take a little getting used to, not the end of the world, but it's, you know, it's different. It's different. So there you go, a very quick look at the Amaze 4G. We're going to give this thing the full what for here in the coming days, and we'll see you later.